Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. In this video, I want to talk about charities because, this is something that a lot of people are into. They want to donate to charity. It's almost always like a social signaling thing. One of the big telltale signs that I know that something is a scam is if they mention the word charity within the first 30 seconds of their pitch. Not all of them are, but there's a very, very good chance that if somebody is invoking a charity for their ICO or project or something like that, it usually means that they feel the need to virtue signal about their project in order to get into my good graces. And that's almost always a negative signal for me. But I wanted to talk about charities in general and why I'm generally a little bit skeptical of them. The first thing about charities that I'm very skeptical about is the fact that it's very hard to see what they're doing. Most charities aren't super transparent. They might be saying that they're bringing wells to Africa or something like that, but you have no idea. You see a couple pictures and a couple smiling faces, and you're supposed to think, okay, well, I guess that's what they're doing. You don't know if they're embezzling. You don't know if they're bribing people. If it's actually going towards something in some bureaucrat's pocket or whatever. It's very difficult to tell whether or not they're actually doing what they're saying. And one of the part of the ethos of this community is don't trust, go and verify. And if I were to actually go and verify charities, that would take a long time, and that's not an easy thing to do. And I suspect that most charities take advantage of that fact, that most people are lazy and don't want to go and verify whether these charities actually do what they say. Now, there are other nonprofit organizations that try to rate charities, so you don't have to go through that expense yourself, but again, how can you verify, right? How can you trust them? They might be getting bribed. It's this very difficult thing to actually verify. Now there are like people that I donate to, whose character I know. That is, at least in my mind, more verified for me than blindly trusting some organization because they say they're good. That's just somebody tooting their own horn and saying you should give me money. I don't know if that's like the wisest way to contribute to civilization. The second reason why I'm very skeptical of charities is because oftentimes they're not solving the right problem. They might be trying to, cure poverty in some country or something like that. And it's a noble goal. But oftentimes that's not the real problem. The real problem isn't that the symptoms are that they're starving or that they don't have housing or something like that. The real problem, though, the underneath problem is that they simply live in a very bad regime, right? Like they don't have economic freedoms. They don't have rule of law. Whenever they do get food, they get that taken away from them. Whenever they do get a house, it gets socialized away from them by their government or by, warlords or whatever. So I suspect that most of these charities try to treat the symptom without really looking at the cause. And I don't believe in treating the symptom when you're not really treating the cause, because that's not really going to solve anything. It's going to give temporary short-term relief to people, and that can almost be worse than actually doing nothing, because they can at least learn to survive on it and not grow dependent on the charity, which takes away a little bit of their human dignity and their entrepreneurship and like whatever motivations they had before. The third reason I am skeptical of charities is largely because how shall I put this? The type of people that go into them are very easily deceived. This isn't to say that they're particularly vulnerable or something like that, but a lot of the people that I have seen go into these things, they come out very cynical afterwards. And a large part of that is because they just see the human depravity. They see that you have to go and bribe people and all that other stuff. They tend to be idealists, and that's okay, and that's a good thing. but at the same time, they're not necessarily very good with money, and that means that a lot of the money gets wasted. It's not really done efficiently. They're not thinking about how to get the most bang for the buck out of the money that I contribute. It's just about, okay, well, we think this is good, so we'll just sort of do it. And I'd rather contribute to people that are more motivated to make the most out of my money. So one of the things that I donate to, or at least do, is I go on Kiva and I do microlending. The people that are receiving the loans, well, they are motivated to make the most of the money that they're lent. And I just recycle that money back over and over again. And I think that's a lot more effective than straight giving to charity, because again, you don't know where the money's going. I don't think the money gets spent that well. A lot of it's just treating the symptom and not the actual cost. Anyway, hope that helps you. Just sort of my soapbox, I guess. This song is done.